always say that Ithaca College chose me and I didn't choose Ithaca College, and that sounds super cliche, but I feel like I was drawn to this school for just the different opportunities that it offered me. I could get hands-on media experience as a freshman, and that was really important to me.
I chose IC because while looking for schools, this one really stood out in terms of its journalism and communications program, and I love the size coming from a small town myself, so it was perfect.
I chose to study journalism at IC because of the small classes. Being able to have a connection with professors and their mentorship has really helped me throughout my career here.
I chose journalism at IC because the Park School of Communications is one of the top communication schools in the country, and I knew I'd be able to get hands-on experience as early as my freshman year.
I knew I wanted to do something with either music or journalism, and I realized that a lot of places would have one or the other, forcing me to pick, but at IC there was a great program for both. So I thought that was probably the best option, so I could kind of combine both music and journalism.
I knew coming into IC that there was a huge alumni network and that there were a lot of different opportunities on campus that people have gone and done amazing things, and they didn't have to be in a city setting to do that. So that was really important for me, and I'm really happy that I got to be here to do it.
I chose journalism at IC because when I came and visited, I just saw how innovative and hands-on the program was, and I really wanted to be working actually as a journalist as soon as I got to college, and I saw that you were able to do that at Ithaca.
I chose journalism because I really wanted to get involved with the extracurriculars like the Ithacan and the radio station, and I heard about a lot of the study abroad programs and internship programs that they had, and that's what brought me to IC.
I was talking to the journalism program, and they really just made it feel like this is a family type environment where you're going to get hands-on learning, you're going to be exposed to great media sources, alumni who are going to help you, and teachers who are going to help you get where you want to go in life, and so I really couldn't turn it down after that.
What's great about journalism at IC is you can kind of pursue whatever your passion is. So I've gotten to do hard news, sports, and entertainment. I started my own entertainment news podcast, which is found on iTunes. I've also done hard news, like going to DC to cover the inauguration and the Women's March for PBS NewsHour. And I've also gotten to do sports, covering everything from Ithaca field hockey to Cornell hockey and NCAA tournaments too.
During my time at IC, I've gotten involved with radio. I do a newscast on WICB, and I've been doing that since my freshman year. Also getting involved with ICTV, doing multiple shows, hosting, reporting. So all that's given me a lot of experience in what I want to do eventually, which is be a news reporter.
I've written for the Ithacan sports section. I work for the Office of Marketing Communications at the college. I write for a baseball blog, and last summer I interned for the Rochester Red Wings baseball team.
One of my favorite things I've been able to do is write commentaries on national security and the military and foreign policy for the Ithacan.
During my time at IC, I have worked heavily involved in Newswatch. I was an AP, producer, reporter, and an anchor. I've also worked on the ICTV executive staff as the director of on-air promotions. I have also worked for Bombers Live as a journalist and a reporter covering the NCAA game.
My freshman year, I dabbled a little bit with Buzzsaw, and then I also write for the Odyssey, but the journalism program actually inspired me to start my own on-campus publication, so I am now the editor-in-chief of a fashion magazine called Distinct Magazine.
I work for the sports section of the Ithacan. I want to do sports journalism, so it's a great way for me to be able to get real-world experience.
I work and produce for Park Productions here at Ithaca College. I'm currently producing a documentary that I've been working on for the last year, following one of my teammates and Ithaca College alum Emily Morley's journey to the Olympics, actually.
I'm a newscaster for ICB. I am a correspondent for Ithaca Now on ICB, which is our weekly radio show, and I've hosted a few times, and I've also been in charge of social media for Entertainment Exclusive for the past 3 semesters. I've been an assistant producer for Newswatch. I'm a reporter for Newswatch now, and I'm also a producer for ICTV Reports.
I was recently at the Harvard National Model United Nations Conference, and I was in the press corps committee representing the Straits Times out of Singapore. And for my journalism work, I actually ended up winning Best Delegate in the committee, and I actually won this gavel from it.
I have been involved in Newswatch since my sophomore year. I've reported AP, and now I'm the executive producer. I was on the premiere season of The Week That Was, which is a satirical news program. I've had some internships with NBC News outside during ICNYC.
My most memorable journalistic experience would probably have to be covering the inauguration and the Women's March on Washington this year for USA Today. 3 months before, I had never even really held a camera, didn't know how to really do visual journalism in any sense, and then after taking visual journalism here at Ithaca, I was in DC 3 months later on the side of the street editing, doing a mobile media package, and it was pretty incredible to see how my classwork translated to professional experience.
Some of my most memorable experience because of the IC journalism program has been the huge internship network that we have here. I was an NBC News fellow after my sophomore year and interned for Lester Holt, and then last summer I worked for the Rio Olympics, so both were incredible opportunities to have.
When I think of memorable, I think of different. So I despise politics. So it was actually intro to journalism. We covered the political race downtown, and it just opened my eyes because I'm not a political person at all. So it was kind of fun.
My most memorable experience would be Skyping with David Muir and Bob Iger in the Spark program my freshman year.
One of the most rewarding experiences I've had here at IC was when I went to LA to study at their satellite campus. And that's where I interned for the Academy of Country Music. While I was there, I wrote a lot for their online website, creating articles, media content. And then I also spent a week in Las Vegas before their award show where I got to interview artists myself. I worked at the festival, the award show. And it was one of those things where when I sat in on that first rehearsal of a national program, something that millions of people tune into, it kind of sank in like, wow, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be.
My most memorable experience at IC was actually in Selma, Alabama. And I thought that it was really cool because about 6 of us got to go down and film with NBC. And we got to shoot interviews for the 50th anniversary of the march from Selma to Montgomery for the civil rights movement. And I thought that was really cool because we got to interview a lot of people who were involved in the civil rights movement or their parents were, and it really got very hands-on experience.
A lot of memorable experiences, but I think the inauguration was definitely one of them because we were really experiencing like real life journalism, which we try and do a lot at IC, but it was kind of like taking all the skills we've learned in the classroom and really actualizing them in practice, and it was really cool to be treated like a professional and see our skills put to work.
I would say my most memorable journalism experience here at IC has been working for the Ithacan. There were a lot of late nights and it was a lot of work, but I had a lot of fun.
I think my most memorable experience was definitely the trip to South Carolina last February, and that was to cover the GOP Republican primaries. So it was a team of 9 student journalists. We went down, we got a lot of oral history kind of in low country South Carolina, and we also covered the primaries as well. And I think that was really memorable because it just kind of gave me the opportunity to just be in the scene and just kind of be in the middle of where everything happens.
Shooting my spotlight project sophomore year, where we did such a well job that we got on PBS.
I would describe my experience at IC as unexpected. I really didn't know what I was getting into when I came here, but I was so happily surprised. I really can't even put it into words because there's just so much that you can do. You can pick your own path and be the person that you want to be.
I would describe my experience at IC as rewarding insofar as it gave me the skills that I would be using every single day for the rest of my life. At times it was very stressful, but I think that I gained the skills I need to make an impact in the field that I choose.
I would describe my experience here at IC as one of a kind. A lot of my friends who are in similar programs haven't had the experiences and the opportunities that I have.
I would describe my experiences at IC as extraordinary.
I would describe my IC experience as eye-opening and challenging, and as something that has prepared me for life after graduation.